Well, hey parents, this is Jeff, and I'm back with an activity that I hope equips you to help your child continue their journey towards Jesus all throughout the week. And we're calling this activity Games of Perseverance. For this activity, you'll just need a couple things. One are the actual games, and I am posting those to our JC Kids Facebook page. I'm also emailing those to you. If your kid has been a part of Journeys Crossing over the last year, you should get that in your email too. So, and then they'll need a pencil. They'll need something to do because there's a word search, there's a maze, there's a couple things like that. So here's the way that you could start this activity. Just let your kids know that you've got some activities, some games for them to play. Let them know that there won't be easy. And I'll tell you, I've taken a look at these. They're not going to be easy, even for fifth graders, but especially if you've got a kindergarten, first grader, second grader. Some of these things might be tough. So let them know that it won't be easy, but if you stick with it, you can complete them, and remind them that if they really get stuck, they can come to you for help. Now, if it were me, I would also promise my kids some kind of prize or treat at the end. Really, that's a good way for my kids to stick with anything if they know there's something they're working towards. So I would encourage you to do that if you choose in your house as well. So give them the maze. Let them know you need to see if you can find your way through this maze without anyone's help. But remember that you are there to help them if they really get stuck. Same with the word find. They need to find all the words on their own, but you're there to help them when they get stuck. There's a what's wrong pictures. You've seen these things where there's two pictures, but just some minor adjustments between the two. Let them know that there are at least 15 differences between those two pictures. That they need to stick with it and try to get them all done on their own. And again, you're there to help. And then finally, they need to see how many words they can spell using only the letters in the word perseverance, and let them know that there are at least 33 words that could be made. And again, they need to stick with it themselves, but you're there to help if they truly get stuck. This should take them a little bit of time, which is kind of nice in our kind of COVID quarantine kind of days to have our kids have some activities that'll take them a little bit of time. And so there's some questions that you can ask them once they finally get done with this, if they've persevered all the way, if they've accomplished it. Hook them up with that treat and then say, well, what did all those activities have in common? And the answer is they were all difficult. These are not easy activities. These are not easy games that you're giving them. Ask them what the only way was to complete the task. And the answer is that it's going to take perseverance. It's going to keep the idea of keep on keeping on. That's exactly how they can get through these. And then say, hey, if the activity was too hard, what happened? And you can remind them that you were there to help when that activity got too hard. And the big piece of learning for your kids is this. Share with them that just like you were able to help with those activities, God is with your kids. And He can help keep them going in difficult times. When things are difficult in our lives, the easiest thing might be to quit, but it's always important to remember that God is always with us and wants us to keep going even when it's difficult. It reminds me of one of my favorite verses in the Bible, which is found in Joshua chapter 1. God has called Joshua to be the new leaders of the Israelites and to help this disobedient group of people go into the promised land and defeat all of the nations that live in there. Easy task, right? But God gives Joshua a pep talk right at the beginning of this book, and he finishes it by saying this, Joshua 1, chapter 9, "This is my command, be strong and courageous, do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." That's a great verse to share with your kid, to remind them that God is with them wherever they go, and that they can be strong and courageous, and they can persevere in the face of trials. I hope you have a great time doing this with your kids. I hope it helps them to continue their journey towards Jesus. We'll have more Continue the Journey activities available on our YouTube channel this week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.